So if you guys watched the video on the 45p, we actually did a little time lapse on that of me scaping. So if you haven't watched it, definitely watch that. A little cool little speed scape of me doing that. And today I actually got the plants a little early, so we're gonna do a little dry start with the plants. I already got them, might as well go ahead and plant them. It won't be a true dry start because we'll literally be filling it right back up in a couple days. But I'll go ahead and get the plants in there. I'll show you guys that, and then hopefully next video I don't think I'm going to show it in this video because the next video, if I just go ahead and fill it up at the place there, I'm going to be setting up all the equipment too, and I might as well just make that a separate whole video in itself. We'll just make this about the planting today. So yeah, out here, if I turn you guys around, so I got all the plants here. So basically let's go run through the options. So we got Pinophilia UK, so I plan to kind of use that. I'm not sure yet, it just depends on everything else works out, but I plan to maybe put some on here and then maybe the top of this wood. I think that would be pretty neat. And then some metallic green. So obviously the metallic green is going to be the bush in the back here. So all along here, wherever we can plant it, just fill up that whole back. And obviously I'll get some trimmings of Atra from my tank eventually. But I'm probably just going to start it off with green and let that grow, and then eventually plant Atra with it. And then we got Nana Pete. So obviously that'll go in the crevices. We only got one of those because obviously my main plant is going to be Boost. So I'm gonna butcher that scientific name, so I'm not even gonna try it. But this is one of the more common boosters you can get. So we got two things to those. I was trying to get red mini, but a lot of the boosters are super rare. So a lot of species are hard to get, and especially right now, it doesn't help at all with COVID. But yeah, this will still work just fine. I like the bright green. This is one of the more green, light green boosters you'll see. And then we got two things, S-Repins. Obviously, those will look pretty good. I plan to just basically put those in the crevices or wherever I can in the soil. And then we got some Ricardia moss. So obviously, same thing. Wherever we can fit it, maybe some of the rocks and up this log a little bit. So wherever we can place that. But yeah, this looks pretty sweet. Definitely gives me more idea what I want to do with this. Because now that I see this Ricardia, I might definitely get some more when I do this tank. But yeah, I think I'm actually going to set up the cameras and do an actual time lapse of me planting it too, might as well. And then I'll come back to you guys at the end of the video for the final thoughts and final walkthrough. So I'll see you guys then. And actually, before that, I actually did want to show this real quick. So I've prepared all the plants. I just kind of wanted to run through just how they're all looking. Obviously, all 88 tissue cultures all look really good. But yeah, I got them all in bunches, all looking good. Got a lot of pedophilia. I'm not going to use all that, so I definitely will find somewhere to stick it for now. Probably in the 90p, just float it somewhere, just so it can at least stay alive, and then we can use it in the 60F for sure. But yeah, it's all looking pretty good. Obviously got a lot of Rotala too, so I'll have to find a way to plan all that. But yeah, other than that, I'll see you guys after the time. Planting, so hopefully you guys saw good enough on that time lapse. Obviously, until I put that all together, I'm not gonna know how it turned out. But I'm hopefully you guys saw quite a bit and just saw basically just a little time lapse of just being from unplanted to planted. So that's really what matters. But I probably should have got it more close up than I should have. But just to show you guys, obviously you guys will see it more up close here. But so yeah, so basically if you kind of saw, so basically I planted all that Rotala green in the back. I actually was able to use all the plants. I still got a couple of Pinophilia because obviously I wasn't gonna just use it all in this because it just wasn't, it's just gonna grow like crazy anyway, so I'm just gonna keep it for the next scape. But yeah, so I got all the Rotala green right there, so quite a bit, so there's gonna be a lot once that starts growing in. Then so the S-Repins, I planted a few right there, I got few right here, and then basically I planted them all through the crevices over here, and I think I hid one back over there too. So yeah, that should look pretty good, especially when that starts getting taller. That will really start filling in that space right there. And then the next thing was a peat. So the peat, I basically just kind of just picked and choose. I mean, really nothing, no pattern used here, just kind of randomly place it, just the way nature intended it, just place it wherever. Obviously you want to be, especially when you're doing a high-end scape, you just don't want to place it nowhere, because obviously you kind of want, like, for example, the P, you want the big leaves to kind of be in the more the front, so you get and then smaller leaves in the back, so more appears as the tank's bigger than it really is. But for this scape, it really doesn't matter. But just something to think about when you're doing like contest tanks and stuff. Sometimes you want the more you want to put more of the bigger plants in the front like that, especially when you're doing newbies. I probably should have put all the newbies in the front and then slowly use like boost in the back, but it really doesn't matter. This isn't really gonna be used for contests, so this is just for for the public to see. So and then the boost we got right here. And then let's see. So yeah, I just got it kind of tucked, basically in between all the Nubius. I just got boost here and there. So obviously there was way more boost than there was in Nubius. So we got more of that going on. And then let's see. The next thing would be the Pinophilia. So I got 2 on that log back there. So I thought that would be a perfect spot for that, because it's kind of its own little island over there. So having 2 Pinophilia, then I got 1 at the top right there, and then I threw 1 right there. I don't know if I'm gonna like that right there, but I had the extra room, so might as well. And then the Ricardia moss. So basically, I just went through and kind of put little patches on the rocks where I felt like it. And hopefully I just it's probably gonna go like crazy. Honestly, all this stuff's probably gonna go like crazy. But if I'm doing it weekly, even if I have to trim it weekly, I mean, it is what it is. But it probably will get out of hand pretty quick, honestly. And then yeah, then basically all the moss, I kind of just glued patches up the log a little bit. So we'll just see how that turns out. I don't know how that's really gonna turn out, to be honest. But and if we want to switch it out for other moss eventually, maybe we will, some Christmas or flame or something. But we'll try the Ricardia and just see how it turns out and looks. And then yeah, actually I got another boost tucked in there, and then obviously the Pinophilia right there. That should look really neat, especially at the top right there. That should do real good, especially really close to light. This one's probably gonna turn really red. And then yeah, so yeah, like all the patches going down. So kind of what my plan is hopefully that moss kind of like slowly kind of grows over this and almost covers the whole thing. But again, it's Ricardia moss, so it's a little bit different looking of moss, so I just don't know how that's going to turn out, so we'll just see. And then actually yeah, that was another cool one, was I put some boost on the very tip of that point that's sticking out, so that actually look pretty neat once it starts growing. But yeah, overall, I mean, if you stand back, I mean, of course, once the stems start growing in, that's when you're really going to start seeing this thing turned really good looking. But because obviously that stems are going to be a big round bush in the back, and then obviously when all this starts growing in, it's going to look really nice. But yeah, other than that, I think that's really all I got to share. I don't think there's anything else I've really done, so obviously I'll miss that 2-3 times a day, basically as much as I can I will. And then I'll put some foil over here and just have the light on for, probably get a timer and let that stay on for about 8 hours for the next 2 days, just so the plants are getting some type of light. But yeah, other than that, if you guys like this video, comment, like, subscribe. If you have any other questions, you have my Instagram at DJ Aquariums, or you can comment down below. But other than that, I'll see you guys on the next one.